Newcastle will play Liverpool in the final of the League Cup in March, with Arsenal and Spurs missing out. However, in this video, I'm not going to focus on Liverpool or the League Cup or tonight's result. What I'm going to focus on is Arsenal and the dismantling of Man City on Sunday. Because on Sunday, Arsenal delivered a statement of intent in the title race with a 5-1 hammering of current champions Man City to close the gap at the top of the table to just 6 points. Arsenal's early meeting with Man City in the league in September ended in a 2-all draw, with John Stones scoring an equalizer in injury time to rescue the reigning champions. But this time, City was shredded apart by Mikel Arteta, who roared to an emphatic 5-1 win in the Emirates. In football, the concept of a trio is generally reserved for a group of three who play in the same department of a team. It could be an attacking trio, a midfield trio, or even a defensive trio. But Arsenal's tactical approach during their 5-1 hammering of City was all down to a trio down one flank. Left winger Leandro Trossard, left centre midfielder Declan Rice, and left back Miles Lewis-Skelly combined excellently throughout the game. In this video, I'll break down Mikel Arteta's tactical approach in dismantling Man City by focusing on City's left, specifically designed to target City's weak link. So let's dive in. Arsenal's passing network from the game tells the story with great clarity. There's almost no connection between the players on the other flank, but Trossard, Rice and Lewis-Skelly played close together, operated in each other's zones and spun their way into good positions in behind. On paper, Arsenal's key route of attack was through Trossard. Now, Trossard is not a natural left winger, but he demonstrated great traditional wing play in the 2-all draw against Aston Villa in Arsenal's previous home game, twice getting to the byline before crossing with his weaker left foot to create goals for Martinelli and Kai Havertz. On Sunday, he was up against Matheus Nunes, a makeshift right back and somewhat an uncomfortable one, who has been very tentative with his tackling in recent weeks. Therefore, the first time Trossard looked to run at Nunes, midfielder Bernardo Silva sprinted quickly out to that flank to double up against him. That made sense, but it inevitably left space elsewhere. The next time Trossard ran at Nunes, Bernardo was initially tracking the run of Declan Rice, but ended up moving out towards the flank again to stop Trossard. Declan Rice then bombed into the space between Nunes and Manuel Akanji. The move ended when Trossard went to the ground claiming he was fouled by Nunes, but Rice had been unmarked in space in the box and was screaming for a pass. Arsenal never quite played the right pass to unlock the space in City's right back zone, but they constantly found themselves in good situations. As you can see here, Nunes miles away from being able to support his defense. Akanji isn't sure whether to track Trossard or Rice, who is again moving into space. Trossard gets the ball and Rice makes a run in behind, but again, Trossard doesn't quite play the pass. And here's the kicker. The key factor was Arsenal's rotation. Trossard was the winger, Rice was the central midfielder, and Lewis-Skelly was the fullback. But they almost never found themselves in those roles. You would expect Rice to be inside the other two for the majority of the game, but here's an example of Trossard becoming the most central player and Rice moving out to the flank. This time, it's Lewis-Skelly's turn to become the most central player, with Rice again moving out to the left and shouting for a pass. Here's a complete inversion of what you'd expect in terms of width. The left back and the left winger are in the inside left channel, with the central midfielder out wide. And this time, Lewis-Skelly, who should be the deepest of the three on paper, becomes the most advanced of the three. And when the ball is played up to Havertz, with Bernardo getting drawn towards the German, Lewis-Skelly probably could have sprinted on the outside sooner to allow the passing move to keep flowing forward. Here's another example of Lewis-Skelly being the most advanced of the three, with Trossard's pass towards him overhit. And while the passing didn't always match the quality of the movement, Arsenal were nevertheless unpredictable. while Lewis Kelly was often making runs into the attack from deep. Here's a move where first Trossard and then Rice make runs in behind City's back line. Perhaps the most striking thing was the sheer level of width provided by Rice. Look at his open play heat map, and he's taking up the positions you'd expect of a left winger. Shortly before halftime, Rice again took up a position on the left flank and aimed a huge crossfield ball to Martinelli, which didn't quite reach the Brazilian, but that type of pass was to prove relevant later on. Right, into the second half now, Arsenal kept on working on rotations down the left flank. Here's another example of them completely flipping everything around. Lewis Kelly has moved inside from the left back to central midfield. Trossard has dropped from left wing to left back, and Rice has pushed on to become an extra attacker and almost finds himself offside as Arsenal break quickly. Again, the passing move goes wrong. But eventually, Arsenal scored the type of goal this left-sided rotation had been promising. It started with a combination down the left and featured Rice on the touchline with his usual two options inside. Trossard wanted a more ambitious pass, but Rice laid it inside to Lewis Kelly, who took the ball on the run, got inside, and scored Arsenal's third. After Havertz added a fourth, the final goal again came from Rice playing as a left winger and trying the crossfield ball he played towards Martinelli in the first half. This time the pass was perfect and substitute Ethan Mary cut inside and scored another example of what is quickly becoming his trademark goal. Despite the comfortable win, the comprehensive dismantling of Man City, Arsenal was still unconvincing in possession. Their passing was often too conservative, and at key moments they often made the wrong decisions. But in a side that has looked overly reliant on Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard's combination on the right flank, Arsenal focus on the left flank, specifically targeting City's weak link, was a welcome change, and that proved crucial in their most significant victory of the season so far.